Deep in the heart of the forest, nestled among the trees and foliage, was the home of an otter. The small, warm den was made of branches, leaves, and mud, and provided a safe and comfortable shelter for the otter. The den was located near a stream, providing the otter with access to fresh water and an abundance of food. The otter had created a home that was cozy and secure, and it was here that the otter could relax and enjoy its life in the forest. The morning sun had barely risen when the fisherman arrived at the riverbank. He was a tall man with a long gray beard, and he carried a large fishing net over his shoulder. He silently set up his equipment and began to cast his net into the river. He was determined to catch as many fish as possible, and he was not going to let anything get in his way. As he waited for the fish to take the bait, he looked around the riverbank, taking in the beauty of the area and the peacefulness of the morning. The fisherman had been outmatched by the otter. Despite his best efforts, he had been unable to catch a single fish. He had been outwitted and outmaneuvered by the cunning otter, who had managed to catch several fish in the same amount of time. The fisherman was left feeling defeated and frustrated, his pride wounded by the otter's success. He had been bested and had no choice but to accept his defeat. He knew that he would need to find a new way to catch fish if he wanted to succeed. The otter had finally achieved his goal. After many years of hard work and determination, he had outsmarted the fisherman and found success. He had been able to use his wits and strength to outwit the fisherman and escape with the fish he desired. His triumph was a testament to his courage, and he was filled with a sense of accomplishment to his courage. He had finally achieved the success he had been striving for, and it was a moment of joy and pride for him. The otter was curious to see what the fisherman had brought with him, and cautiously swam closer. As he drew nearer, he saw the fisherman had a large net in his hands. Suddenly, the otter realized why the fisherman had come to the lake. He was there to catch fish. The otter quickly swam away and dived into a nearby cave where he could keep a safe distance from the fisherman and his net. He watched from the safety of the cave, his heart pounding as he realized the danger he had narrowly avoided. The next morning, the fisherman arrived with his net and bait. He had heard of the otter's presence in the area and was determined to catch it. He set up his trap in the river, hoping to catch the otter while it was swimming. The fisherman waited patiently, but the otter never showed up. After hours of waiting, he finally gave up and went home empty-handed. Despite his efforts, the otter had managed to elude the fisherman's trap. The otter, determined to outwit the fisherman, had an idea. He knew he had to be clever to avoid the net. He observed the fisherman's movements and studied the design of the net. He thought of a plan to construct a trap of his own, one that would be difficult to escape. He quickly set out to gather the materials he would need. With determination and ingenuity, he was ready to begin. After coming up with the idea to build a trap to capture the raccoon, Otter set out to gather the necessary supplies. He started by looking around his house for items he could use. He found a few old pieces of wood, some rope, and some wire. He then went to the store to purchase a few more items, including a large piece of cloth, a few nails, and a small piece of string. Finally, he asked his neighbor for a few extra pieces of wood and some more rope. With all the necessary supplies in hand, Otter was ready to start building the trap. After gathering the necessary supplies, Otter began the process of building the trap. He used the rope to create a sturdy frame, then used the twigs and leaves to camouflage it. He then placed the bait in the center of the frame, making sure that it was visible and accessible to the animal he was trying to catch. Finally, he set the trigger mechanism, which was designed to close the trap when the bait was taken. With the trap now built, Otter was ready to set it and wait for the results. With the trap complete, Otter knew it was time to set it. He had to be careful not to leave any clues that would alert the beaver of his presence. He carefully placed the trap along the beaver's path, making sure it blended in with the environment. He then camouflaged the trap with leaves and sticks, making it nearly invisible. Once he was satisfied with his work, Otter stepped back and waited for the beaver to take the bait. The fisherman had returned to the river, determined to catch the beaver that had eluded him for so long. He had heard rumors of a clever creature that had outwitted him, and he was determined to prove himself. He had brought all the necessary supplies and was ready to set his own trap. Little did he know that there was already a trap set, and it was waiting for him. The fisherman had been unsuccessful in his attempts to catch any fish, but the otter was far more successful. She used her keen sense of smell to locate the fish, and her agility to quickly snatch them from the water. She was able to catch fish with ease, and soon had a large pile of them. Her success was a testament to her skill and determination, and the fisherman was in awe of her prowess.
If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from us. We'll be bringing you more exciting stories and videos like this one. See you next time.